Okay, in this video we continue our discussion on graph matrices, and here we are going to talk about another matrix called path matrix of a graph. So let me start by giving the definition of a path matrix. So it is defined as follows: let G be a graph with m edges and let u and v be any two vertices in G. So the path matrix is going to be defined with respect to two vertices in the graph. Okay, let u and v be any two vertices in G. The path matrix for vertices u and v denoted by p of uv. So that is going to be a q by m matrix, where q is the number of different paths between these two vertices. Okay, q is the number of different paths between u and v. Okay, and it is defined as follows: p of ij equal to 1 if the jth edge lies in the ith path and equal to 0 otherwise. Okay, so it is going to be a q by m matrix, where m is the number of edges and q is the number of different paths between u and v. Okay, so path matrix it is defined with respect to two vertices, any two vertices in the graph. So it is denoted by capital P uv, and it is okay, and the entries of that matrix is defined as follows: p of ij equal to 1 if the jth edge lies in the ith path and equal to 0 otherwise. Okay, so let's look at an example. Okay, let's consider this graph G. Okay, and this graph, it has 8 edges, so the number of columns. Okay, so here m is equal to 8. Okay, and so the number of columns here is 8. And okay, let's consider a different path between say, okay, let's consider different paths between okay, say v3 and v4. Okay, and with respect to, okay, that's what this matrix is. Okay, it is the path matrix of this graph between, okay, these two vertices v3 and v4. Okay, so we are considering this vertex and this vertex. Okay, so let's consider different paths between v3 and v4. Okay, let's consider the first path. Let me denote by small p1. Okay, so and that path is like from v3 to v2 using e8, and using from v2 to v4 using e5. So p1, okay, this path, it contains these two edges, e8 and e5. Okay, and similarly we could find two more paths here. So one path could be like, okay, you go from, let me call that p2. Okay, so anyway, first it must use e8. Okay, e8, then say e7, and using e3 to v4. Okay, e3. So that is the second path between these two vertices, and there is one more path. Okay, and let's call that p3, and here the path contains these edges e8, okay, e6, then followed by this one e4. Okay, so this is e4. Okay, I think it is not visible. Okay, e1, e2, e3, so it must be e4. Okay, e4, and then using this edge e3. Okay, so these are the different paths between v3 and v4. Okay, using these three paths, okay, denoted by using these three sets p1, p2, p3. Okay, let's define the path matrix of this graph, okay, between these two vertices, okay, v3, v4. So okay, let G be a graph with m edges and uv be any two vertices in G. The path matrix for vertices u and v. So here our u is going to be v3 and v is going to be v4, denoted by p of, in this case, p of v3 v4, it is going to be a Q by M matrix. So in this case, Q is going to be equal to 3. Okay, Q is the number of different paths between U and V. In this case, between V3 and V4. So different paths between V3 and V4 are these 3 paths denoted in a set notation. Okay, E8, E5, then E8, E7, E3, and E8, E6, E4, E3. Okay, so that means the number of rows in this matrix is going to be equal to 3. Okay, and the entries are defined as follows: P of ij equal to 1 if the jth edge lies in the ith path. Okay, so here we can see that P1 it contains E8, so that says we will have P of 1 8. Okay, P of 1 8 equal to 1. Okay, so you can see that here. So the first row corresponds to, okay, this path P1, this set P1. Okay, and it do contain one more one because this set has 2 elements. So that says P okay, P of 1 5. Okay, 1 5 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, equal to 1. So first row is defined by this path. Okay, and let's look at the second row. Okay, and second row is defined by this P2. Okay, so this is by P2. So that says we will have 2 8 equal to 1. Okay, 2 8 is this entry, that is equal to 1. 2 7 this entry, that is equal to 1, and 2 3 that is equal to 1, and everything else is 0. So second row corresponds to this path, and the last row corresponds to the third path. Okay, that says 3 8 will be equal to 1. Okay, so that is equal to 1. 3 6 will be equal to 1. Okay, and 3 3 will be equal to 1, and 3 4 will be equal to 1. Okay, and this is how we build the path matrix of a graph. Okay, and one thing to remember here is that path matrix is defined with respect to any 2 vertices in the graph. Okay, so let me repeat the definition of a path matrix. Let G be a graph with m edges and U and V be any 2 arbitrary vertices of G. The path matrix for vertices U and V denoted by P of UV is equal to it is a Q by M matrix, where Q is the number of different paths between U and V, and M is the number of edges, and the entries are defined in this way: P of ij equal to 1 if the jth edge, okay, for example here 8th edge is in the first path. Okay, so or P1th path. Okay, and that's what we saw here, right? Equal to 1 if the jth edge lies in the ith path, and equal to 0 otherwise. Okay, so that is how we define a path matrix. So let's look at some properties of the path matrix, simple properties or simple observations about the path matrix. So here we can very easily see that a column of all zeros corresponds to an edge that does not lie in any path between U and V. Okay, for example, if you look at this particular matrix, so here we can see that we have two columns. Okay, so the column of all zeros corresponds to an edge that does not lie in the path between U and V. Okay, and that we can very easily see from here. If you consider these 2 columns, okay, these 2 columns contains only zeros. Okay, that says okay, every path between V3 and V4, okay, it does not pass through these 2 edges, E1 and E2. Okay, so we can see that E1 and E2 somewhere here, right? So any path from V3 to V4, it does not go through, okay, E1 or E2. Okay, and that's what we saw here. A column of all zeros corresponds to an edge that does not lie in any path between U and V. And similarly, okay, another property, another observation: a column of all ones corresponds to an edge that lies in every path between U and V. Okay, a column of all ones corresponds to an edge that lies in every path between U and V. Okay, and if you look at this particular example, we can see that this E8 is contained in every path between V3 and V4. Okay, and that says that column if you look at this column, the last column, E8 column, okay, every entry is 1, okay, and that says all the path between V3 and V4, it goes through that particular entry E8, okay. So that we can see from this example, right? Okay, E8 is very common to all these paths, okay. So that's one observation. A column of all ones corresponds to an edge that lies in every path between U and V, okay, and there is no row with all zeros, okay, and again we are dealing with a path between two vertices, okay, and that says there is no row with all zeros, and that you can see from this example, okay, because we are dealing with two vertices and paths between U and V, okay, and again we are dealing with a connected graph, okay. If it's a disconnected, then that may happen, but that is not considered here, okay. So that three basic observations about the path matrix. A column of all zeros corresponds to an edge that does not lie in any path between U and V. A column of all ones corresponds to an edge that lie in every path between U and V, and there is no row with all zeros, okay. So in this video we defined a path matrix and we went through some basic properties of this path matrix.